Yes.
Karen Miller with Pacifica Radio. Frank Anderson had talked a little bit about contractors, and just wanted to throw this question out to anyone. What role do you think companies like Blackwater, what's formerly known as Blackwater, what role will they be playing in Afghanistan? What are your thoughts on that?
There was a bad echo, but are you asking me about what role Blackwater is playing in Afghanistan?
Yeah, well, what role do you think organizations like Blackwater, or now I believe it's called Z, what role do you feel like they'll be playing in Afghanistan?
I think that one of our serious dysfunctions is that we have organized ourselves in such a way that what are essential state functions are now performed by businesses. I can't think of any way that it makes sense or that a nation should justify that its embassy in Afghanistan, no, its embassies all around the world, are protected by businessmen. You know, rather than the Marine security guards, when you approach the embassy in Kabul, you go through a layer of Afghan police. That's comforting. Then a group, not of Blackwater, but another American security company. And then you can turn left, and I don't even know which contractor covers the gate of the embassy, or you can turn right into the international the International Security in Afghanistan Force, in the ISAF headquarters, where you first go through another Afghan commercial or private security company, and then you're confronted by gates and barriers manned by the Macedonians. There's no way that we should have allowed ourselves to be deployed where we have to have businessmen performing essential state functions. I can't think of any other thing to say. And it's not just security, it's not just Blackwater. Well, it would be wrong for me to list individual companies, but we have stopped doing the business of government. You know, government is now performed by businesses, and I don't know how many more times it costs to have a government function performed by a businessman, but I know it's at least 2 or 3.
So do you see that there'll be an increase in this type of involvement, or do you see that there'll be an increase in this type of involvement, or will it be the same, or will it be different than what we did in Iraq? Or
fixing this would require revolutionary change. We have over the last 30 or 40 years privatized function after function after function, with the idea, and it was once an ideological view from one political party, that business is essentially more efficient than government. Looking at those around the room who have been in government and then in business, and I tell you my personal experience is it just doesn't play out. Bureaucracy is inefficient. You know, if you get 50 people in a business, it's going to become inefficient because you've got businesses. And it's not going to be more or less efficient than 50 people in the government. We have increasingly chosen not to employ government people, and I suppose it makes sense that you privatize the snow plowing function in the city of Washington. I think it makes less sense that you privatize the analysis of intelligence. I think it is obscene that you privatize the application of violence.
If I could just add, I fully agree with everything Frank has said. The irony is, as we've outsourced all of these government functions, particularly in the intelligence community, we've just built a larger and larger intelligence community bureaucracy with more and more layers of review, more and more people who are reading contracts every day and overseeing contractors rather than doing their jobs. We now have more institutions in the intelligence community than we've ever had before. The best example of that, look at the picture of the President meeting with his so-called intelligence advisors in the White House 2 days ago. How many people were in that room? Who's the sheriff? We got a huge posse of bureaucrats. Who's in charge?